Hey there, YouTube. It's PD Two Finger, and we're coming into the holidays here. I usually make a video where I'll talk a little bit about holiday stuff. I quit drinking in January, so we're coming up on a year. It's been maybe 10 months, and I can say that I quit drinking because I don't crave or miss it at all. I've been through this before in my life, and I went to meetings, and boy, did I miss it back then. I had a tough time. I was never the type of person to enjoy like going out to eat or going to bars, especially going to bars. I really didn't like that. And I realized there's people sitting in the bar that are different types of bar patrons themselves. Like somebody's in there because they want to have a one night stand, another person's in there just because they want to get drunk. Another person might be in there just with a group of friends or coworkers. So it's not so much about just pigeonholing people, but I think the type of person who, the type of person who is working their recovery, who attends meetings regularly, that's a certain type of person, and they may have a specific set of needs that related towards what type of an alcoholic they were. I don't know. I don't know. I found meetings induced a real strong craving for me, and um, I felt like it was a power structure type of thing. Like it was there was a dynamic there that I wasn't comfortable having other people constantly put themselves above me, lording their powers of their chips and their dates. Um, that seemed to work well for a certain type, and that particular type is not me. So if you look at the guy who founded it, he had a psychedelic experience, which was the, the foundation of his sobriety, was a psychedelic experience. And that's something that I have in common with Bill W. Is that the guy's name? The last day that I drank, I had been up for a good amount of time, a couple of days, and my psychedelic experience, the come up was fun and I felt great, but then it was really intense suffering. It was my body detoxifying while I was tripping. So that really may have something to do with why I don't miss it. I realized that everybody's different, and for some people, this psychedelic experience tied in with like quitting opioids or even gambling. That this is a real thing. That they have done these ayahuasca ceremonies to help people out. So uh, it worked for me. I don't know how to explain it so much other than tell you it wasn't something that I sought out, and it came to me, and I had put some thought and consideration and intent behind it. So it was like um, about a year of intent and considering making this choice. And I kind of schedule my life, and in this particular time of year, with the snowfall here in Chicago, I will record music. I will do what I call an album, and it's just some music, usually, 12, 15, 30, 33 songs that I will record here. I will write them. I will do the drums with software and play keyboards, play electric guitars and bass, and even sing sometimes. But it's usually instrumental music, and I'll do that a couple of weeks to a month. Usually about a week after. So like in January 7th, I'll be ready to hit record and start the first song. And last year was no exception. I recorded an album, but I also had that intent, and in the back of my mind, it was like I should try to see if I can quit drinking, and because getting older, and for health reasons, and financial reasons, and I wasn't happy. I used to drink beer, and then I got really sick in 2016. I was prescribed something, and I had a severe reaction, which resulted in a hormone crash. So for about a quarter of a year, I suffered a huge list of all kinds of side effects, and it was horrific. It was hell on earth what I went through. And I had no idea what was going on. So I quit. I tried to eliminate everything that I could, and one of those things was drinking beer. Now, after things came around, I switched out to wine, and the idea was I would cut the wine with sparkling water, and I would just have a little bit. I was never a wake and drink. I always put it off. I would usually drink at like 11 at night. I would start, but then you see, I would get carried away. I would, I would still be drinking at 10:30 the next morning. Would be the last one I would pour. And now this wasn't every day. This was only every once in a while. I would, I would slip up and let things get the best of me. And what I experienced with the wine was a more angry, not violent, but just bitter, just this feeling that the world is just an ugly, selfish place, which it is. I got news for you. Nothing there has changed. But I had been through enough of that, and things weren't getting any better for me. So I had this intent, and I applied it. I had been up for a few days. I really should have went to bed, and I took the psychedelics. I took a good amount, and then I took more. So, like I said, the come up was lots of fun. And we took all kinds of photographs and video, which I used all of that stuff for the video for the album that I made. It's an album that I made last year. It's called Hokum. It's an acoustic album. It's on this channel. And all of that stuff on that video, it's all from that day. It's all during the come up. So it went from fun to not fun to miserable to just a nightmare. And I was unable to sleep. I had been up naturally drinking, and then, when I took this psychedelic after the come up, well, my body started detoxifying itself from the alcohol. Like I was no longer able to keep going how I was. So I stopped. So what I went through it was miserable. It was misery. And I wanted it to end. I wanted to go to sleep. But I still had another, good 10 hours before my body would let me because of what I had taken. So I remember, like, my wife wants me to go to bed. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. And she parades me into the bedroom. We're going to lay down. And she shuts the light off, and I just see these things spinning around, the little like particle of light dancing around, leaving echoing trails of. I said, I don't think it's nap time just yet. I gotta go back in the other room. I can't. I was just pacing and I just had this look of like on my face for 20 some hours, whatever it was, and eventually I did sleep. And when I woke, I felt like crap, but I knew I was done. I didn't miss it. I didn't crave it. I didn't want it. There was no, oh hey, let me go pour one and knock the top of this headache off and get started again. It was none of that. It was just gone. Gone was the desire to drink. And we had hard liquor. We had, which we had it, but I was never like doing shots. I tried to control it the best I could. I used to cut my beer. I used to put orange juice in my beer. So we had hard liquor, we had Everclear, we had wine. We had like $40-50 worth of wine, and then like 5 hard ciders or something like that. There's two of them. We have 2 hard ciders. Maybe we only had 3. There's 2 hard ciders here. And I gave away a lot of that hooch. I gave it away to people who drink but don't I don't think have a problem with like having one and then not having any more. That's the type of person that I wish I was. And I think I might be like that now. I really think I might. But I'm not gonna I don't want to try that. I don't want to test it. Like I've got these 2 ciders. One of them is in the fridge, and I've been saving it. I was gonna have it for my birthday, and I never did. The time wasn't right. So that's my story. It's been 10 months that I have. I probably will make another video once I hit a year and talk about this again. But I used to, like, everything in my life used to revolve around. Like, I couldn't imagine. And it was 3 things. It was weed, cigarettes, and alcohol, beer. I could not I could not fathom dying, going to the very end of my life, drinking, getting high, and smoking cigarettes. I could not imagine it. I could not, like, there was no way. If Jesus Christ came down, I'd be like, hey, bud, I'll be right with you. I couldn't imagine it. And I let go of the weed in 2005. And then I made it legal in whatever, 2016 or something. But the cigarettes, that was a year of vaping. I vaped and I lowered the nicotine level as I made my own e-liquid, so I would just use a little less. I would go every month. I would go a half gram less e-liquid nicotine mixture, and when I hit zero, I stopped vaping. So, and that was the same thing. Like, I quit smoking because at the end of that year of vaping, I didn't have any desire to vape. That was how you quit. When you make a choice and then you do whatever you got to do to manifest that. And at the end of that point, if you no longer crave, then you're free. If you're if you're still on the hook, like if you walk, you're somewhere and someone's smoking and you smell it, and you're like, oh, that bell goes off, you know. And I like I gotta be honest. From time to time, like it's really rare for me to smell cigarettes now. Sometimes I'll smell it and it smells like it's a good smell. It's a good smell, but it's not the bell that's going off is not that like oh my god I need one. It's not that bell. And the bell that goes off it's not like ding a ling a ling a ling. It's like ding ding like oh that's a nice smell. There's just a little bit of residue still left there, you know. But that's how I know. And so fortunate for me, whatever circumstances, how I'm wired, uh, how I came through this to be free finally may have had a lot to do with the death of my mother. It may have been that. It may have been um, it may have been the experience itself. It may have been the year of intent I put behind it, or a collection, combination of all of those factors to bring me to this point where I can say I'm free because I don't crave that. It's gone. The desire is gone. You know, like I said, my favorite thing to drink was probably hard cider, like a really cold glass of hard cider. Like if you're really thirsty on a summer day and you open one of those up and put it in a cold pint glass and then chug a lug, it's that's satisfying. Like it when you wipe your mouth, you're no longer thirsty. It's not like soda pop. When you drink soda pop, you want to have another drink right away. It doesn't have that effect. It's really good. It tastes really good. I was never so much one to enjoy the taste of beer as much. It's not bad, but it's not like cider. Cider tastes really good to me. And I have two of those here. Like I said, I had scheduled to treat myself and have one for my birthday, and I didn't do it. So, will I drink that cider on Christmas? Probably not. There's a better chance of me drinking it on New Year's or maybe on my anniversary. Maybe on the anniversary of the day that I quit. Maybe I'll have one. Maybe I won't have it. I'm just really glad that I don't feel the need to go to meetings because this is important enough to me that if I was feeling like I was borderline or in trouble or I was going to do something stupid, I would tell my wife, look, I hate to tell you this, but I think I need to go to, you know, go to a meeting. And I would do that. Because I would rather deal with that than have to sit through another hangover and the sense of disappointment in myself that I would feel if I went and got drunk. That'd be the last thing I would want to do. And I do realize how careful I should be about playing around and like having a glass of cider. So I have to take that into consideration and count my lucky stars and be thankful that I no longer crave alcohol. So you guys take care of yourselves. My road to this point, my road up to the point, the day where I took the dose was temperance. I stopped overdoing it at concerts and family functions. When I was younger, I did. I would go nuts, any chance I could. But as time went on, I started to make wiser decisions. If I'm going to see a band, it's because I really love this band and I'm going to want to remember it, So I started doing a little thing called I'm going to put one drink in the trunk of the car, and when we get out of the venue, down the hatch with that one, drive home, and then have a little bit more and have a frozen pizza and talk about what we witnessed. And then, going to the thing with the relatives and seeing people overdoing it there. And having Coke, drinking a Coke. And then one year I brought a six-pack of cider to the Christmas thing. And it was like the main guy had quit drinking and no one drank. And here I was with a six-pack and I'm like, I'm drinking I haven't had any for how many years? 10 years I've come to these things and watched everyone else drinking the punch and making 7 and 7s and here I am with a Coke. Just because I didn't want to lead on that I had a problem or just do the right thing. I don't want to say something I regret to these people. So I behaved myself. And then that one year it's like, oh, nobody's drinking out of respect for this guy. Well, maybe he should have been a little bit more nice to me and then I'd respect him. You don't treat family like that. Not when they're your family. Anyway, you guys, that's my advice. If something's up, you'll know it. So put some intent behind it. and set a mental checkpoint for the time you want to work yourself up to it. Um, for me, that idea of like having it here is really important. That's part of it. I would always do that. The other times that I tried to quit and failed, like with cigarettes, that would always be a thing. I would have cigarettes when I would not be smoking them. So don't listen to me. But with the holidays coming up, it is what it is, and you want to try to get into the spirit of the thing, which is peace and goodwill, and if you want to drink, you can drink. That's your thing. It's not everybody. It's just a percentage of us who, once they get started, it's hard to stop. And I found myself on the borderline with that. You know, I could have been a lot worse than I was, but I was bad enough on my own to know I needed to address it. So the holiday thing is never easy. I don't think for anybody it is. I think if you're the popular person in the room, it's different. If you're the person that people avoid eye contact with, so you if you're that popular person, you're not going to really know what I'm on about. To be the person that is the black sheep. So if you're one of those people that's blessed, maybe take some time and do the right thing for that person that may repeatedly be left feeling left out or with his feelings hurt. That might be a nice thing for you to do. And it's always a good idea to practice moderation and do what I used to do when I did drink, which is save it till you get home. Have a couple when you get home. If you're going to be needing to drive, that's the thing about the holidays. There's enough of all the other stuff to go around where you don't have to really worry about having alcohol. You can keep yourself amused with snacks and soft drinks and the food. There'll be enough there. So, and as far as that social thing goes, it's peace on earth and goodwill to men. You can't do wrong smiling and being in a spirit of good cheer. You can't go wrong with that. So kill them with kindness. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. Hug your pets. Happy holidays and peace.